been any secret that lately in YouTube there's been a really unfair system waged against people, specifically the content creators.
One that's been rife with abuse and, frankly, is being used to censor and bully people.
But why? I mean, aren't these the people that have helped contribute to making YouTube great? The reason why they can even monetize off it to begin with?
Yes. But we have to remember that they are answering to a higher authority than just us random plebes.
It doesn't matter. Okay, the rules should be that those who help create content are rewarded, not punished. Especially if it's advertising.
Oh no, but the piracy! The piracy! They're pirates! Everybody on YouTube is a pirate! As
okay,
Viacom's
if anybody's
thoughts.
a pirate here, it's the people, it's the claimants. They're actually making money off of people's videos when they make a claim, and they have no repercussions for doing it.
None at all, really.
So why the hell should they stop, in their minds? Like, there's no law, there's no written agreement that they have to do anything or have to suffer any setbacks for making a false claim or a retracted one.
Well, it's even more than that. It's not even just full-on repercussions that occur. It's full-on benefits that occur when you do these claims.
Right.
The corporations get out either way, whether they're right or wrong. Mm-hmm. They get your money. Because
the system is designed, as I've heard, to incentivize the claimants.
Mm-hmm.
And so they abuse it.
Why
wouldn't you? It's like finding a gold mine. You're going to take as much as you can. Yeah. Especially if there's no laws against it.
And what exactly are we talking about, folks? We're talking about YouTube's Content ID system, in which you can be flagged for essentially using copyrighted material, in which you can be claimed, or they can flat out just try to destroy your channel with a strike.
Or they could just shut your channel down entirely.
This has happened. There has been instances in which just a single instance of a strike destroyed their channel. It was probably from people who have big pockets.
And I don't think they realize that it would benefit them much more in the long run if they let people provide their content. That's how they make their money.
Exactly. I mean, what else can we expect from a website that was designed for the user to voice themselves, and now suddenly these big corporations are coming around and just, like, stomping them into the dirt?
It's ironic. It's ironic because it was originally designed for the people, and now it's been given to corporations, as most things in this country have.
And I've mentioned many times that I kind of am despising the way that YouTube has become kind of elitist. There really is almost no incentive for a new content creator to come out, unless they are just damn well talented and maybe even have a little bit of a backing to get them started. People like you and I will probably never see 10,000 subscribers.
But that's not the point.
I know.
The problem is,
but
we kind of want to make stuff for people to see, and they can't see it when it's squelched under everything else.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're squelched under, the Markipliers, PewDiePies, Game Grumps, how does a small Let's Play channel grow?
It should be that it's a fair chance for everybody, as long as you've got the talent and are willing to provide the videos to become famous, if you want to.
And let's face it, we like Markiplier. Markiplier is funny. He's actually a talented person.
And JonTron.
JonTron, of course, you know JonTron. But I feel like now that YouTube is, unless you already have the ability to start out decent, you're going nowhere. And with this Content ID system, it is further discouraging new talent to come in, which that's what YouTube is all about, creating new talent.
And where's the new talent going to come from when the old talent goes? It's not. Because this system's going to topple on itself. When all of the old content that created such big hits decide to move on, they won't be able to. There won't be new content, there won't be new users coming in, and they'll have to create a new system.
But now we can talk about the abuse that can occur. in which corporations or even just a third party person can come in and go, nope, that's mine. Doesn't matter how long you used it. I don't care if it's only for a second. It is mine, and your video is mine now.
In most cases, a claim isn't even run through a person first. It's automatic.
It's a robot.
That's where most of the problem comes from, because there's no human element to it. You can't tell if the claim for the content is actually false or not.
To which point they are able to actually take your money, whether or not the system is even processed fully, that the person being claimed against is in the wrong. And that, to me, that's not justice. That's not justice at all.
It's not.
That's bullying tactics.
Yeah, and a little more than that, it's illegal.
It pretty much could be full-on illegal.
No, it's becoming illegal. They're actually taking your hard-earned, legally earned money from you because they decide that they can. And really, I think that it's kind of a cover-up tactic. It might be a little conspiracy here, but...
Yeah, I'm the one that's all about the conspiracies. Go right ahead. You're the one with sense.
But hear me out. There's everything to be gained from this. Absolutely everything to be gained for them through this. There's no reason why they shouldn't use it. And they get free money. More money, that is. Even though they're shattering records in the amount of money that they're making. YouTube itself has probably trillions of dollars coming in.
I wouldn't say trillions, but it does have billions of movies and videos coming in.
Yeah, and they've got content creators that are specifically pandered to them to get them money. And because they're so big, they're at the forefront. That's how it's done.
That's not how it used to be.
But that's how it's done now. But I think it's kind of a cover-up. They want to make even more money, and they're trying to find these little loopholes to do it.
Well, I'm actually going to be the non-conspiratory here. I think it's actually just because of the ancient copyright laws.
No. Why would they put this system in?
And the old people, they actually put the system in to protect themselves, because again, as mentioned, the moment that YouTube was bought by Google, Viacom came in and sued them, like, not even when the ink was dry on the contract. Viacom came in and sued them, trying to destroy YouTube. Mm-hmm. Because, let's face it, Viacom is some pretty sadistic assholes when it comes to content claiming people on YouTube. They fear YouTube. They want to annihilate it, so that people only have, their televised broadcasts that they can control.
But then why is there money gained from it if they're just trying to protect themselves?
Icing on the cake, I guess.
I don't think so. I think it's a little bit more than that. Maybe your idea and mine put together.
It needs to stop, though.
It does. It needs to go back to the way it was, in that the creator of the content is in control of their content, what they produce, and what they make from it.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our show. The post-traumatic
show specifically.
You're part of the show too. Most people
Sometimes.
like you more anyway.
Sometimes.
And that is that we have a few claims on the channel. I actually have a few claims on my channel of monetization, in which they've claimed some videos. There are a few in which I've stupidly put in a Weird Al song because I love Weird Al, and I was using it to accentuate the absurdity and just insane antics that were occurring on screen. My mistake. I can understand that. The ones that upset me, though, are the in-game copyright claims, because you cannot control those. I have about 6 videos now.
You'd have to have the foresight to know what song is coming up, and to know what song would be claimed, to turn it off before it happened. And even if there's like a fraction of a second of a recognizable song, they could claim it with no repercussions.
Again.
But that's stupid, and nobody should have to walk on eggshells. Nobody. It should be content. It should be free. It should be whatever you want it to be. I didn't mean for that to rhyme.
I am not really worried about them monetizing out my videos. What are they going to make? 1/10 of a cent at most?
It's still kind of weird that they try to monetize. I guess it's their site. It's their right. God damn it, I need to stop rhyming.
Because I don't care about that. The fact that I do care about it is that it's so hard now for the content producer on YouTube to know what is, and here comes the word of the day, folks, fair use. That's pretty much what this all boils down to. What is fair use?
And where is it?
Yeah. Where are people's rights to actually use things in the terms of parody, educational purposes, or what was the other one?
Satire?
Or satire. That's what.
Or even just review purposes.
Or review, which is educational. Our stuff isn't like that. We do Let's Plays. They're the biggest gray area on YouTube, and we understand that.
Yeah.
The very next day, it could be the Viacom. Sorry, that Google comes out and says, "Look, sorry, Let's Plays are just gonna have to stop, or else Viacom or some big AAA game company is just gonna sue us into the ground for like hundreds of billions of dollars," which I think is a stupid amount of money because they're not losing that much. But bleh.
So before we discuss where it went, let's discuss what fair use is.
Fair use is what happens when you. We'll go in the sense of a movie parody.
Well, fair use isn't what happens. It's a right that you're given when you produce content.
Because you are trying to put in your own content to accentuate what is being done with the copyrighted content. And you're doing it in such a way that it's not fully taking away the value of the original content.
Right. And, if something is negative, it should be reviewed negatively. That's their right, as content creators, to say that.
No, because the moment that corporations can just say, "No, you're wrong, you can't say that's bad."
Well, then what voice do we have?
You can only say positive things, which some people have already tried to do, and that's really shady.
The only people that would do that are people who don't pay attention to the content, have overly optimistic views of it, and yes, that can happen, or have just flat out been bought out.
Hard to tell, but that's not really the point. The point is that these systems are not for the little guy at all. It's meant to squelch us.
As
it's
with our
all
country, it's all to benefit that top percent.
Now, again, don't get all crazy on me. You're the one who's supposed to make sense.
I'm not, but that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah. If the content is being used solely for the purpose of flat out stealing it so that you can redistribute it to make money, that's bad. That's really, really bad. You're doing a bad thing.
Yeah, you're doing what you were trying to supposedly fight, and that's pirate.
Which Viacom has done. They've actually done such a thing, in which they deliberately created pirate websites to show that YouTube is a pirating website, which is just self-fulfilling prophecy.
But it really shouldn't be this way.
No. I mean, again, not going to care really that I have been claimed. The amount of cares that I've given of this have only been for the strike, because when you receive a strike, that's when things start getting bad for your channel. One strike, just one, is enough to really do some damage to a small YouTuber.
Yeah, and you can't really even fight back against it because of all the methods that they've imposed to stop you from doing so.
If that be the case, because it's 3 strikes and you're out on YouTube. Your channel's completely deleted unless you can actually claim that you've pretty much been attacked. Also known as copyright trolling.
But, okay, as with Hollywood, when Thomas Edison controlled the patents for movie-making methods, how are you supposed to make movies when the methods of doing so are heavily monopolized and you're not allowed to use them?
Well, again, it's the whole mentality of you can make a lot of money if you completely control how anything is made.
But then nothing will ever get made.
Or rather, everything that things won't be allowed to grow and evolve. It'll get stagnant.
How are you allowed to make content if you can't control what goes into your content? If you can't use the methods of producing content that are heavily monopolized? This is literally repeating history.
Quite. Our species tends to do that.
So now we're starting to get into where it went.
Where it went is it quite literally has gone under the rug. Again, corporations exist to serve the profit. They want to make money. If they sense that even so much as a little thing is causing them to lose a dime, they will spend $1,000 to get that dime back.
It's ironic. It's some of the dumbest business practices I'd ever heard, but the only reason they're allowed to keep that money is because of all the rules and laws they've imposed to let them do so.
Well, the thing is the Nostalgia Critic was actually talking about this, and this would make so much sense. I've seen even a few others, like Rich Review Tech USA talking about it, Total Biscuits talked about it, and Alpha Omega Sins talked about it, and I think... Who else?
I Hate Everything?
No. Not I... Well, anyway, those people, they came up with a system that actually makes sense. If you think about it, we have something that completely benefits the corporations, because whether they're wrong or they're right, the claim gets disputed or not, they get the money.
Well, yeah, and besides that, there's nothing to stop them from doing it again.
Exactly, there's no repercussions. But again, there's total benefits. Total benefits. There's no reason to not. It'd almost be like flat out.
Like, you'd be stupid not to do it if you had that power, I guess.
And even though you're making maybe a few pennies at most from these small guys, from the big guys you're making maybe a couple hundred, maybe even $1,000. But for people like us, you're going to make 1/10 of a cent at most. Maybe not even that. My videos maybe get a grand total of 100 views.
I guess that adds up or something.
That's kind of the whole racketeering thing of it, is that these big old claims that come out are wide-spreading shotgun approaches that are meant to encapsulate as many people as possible so that they can make as much money off of it as possible. And it's completely broken, because there have been people who have actually designed and created 100% their own content. I'm talking like completely made a new song or made a brand new game, and they get claimed. And there's nothing that the claim is.
How does that happen?
I have no idea. It's obviously copyright trolling, just to try and get a few cents, but it is totally stealing away from the actual creator.
So what you're telling me is they can actually make claims that they know that are false. Because they know it'll benefit them in some small way.
Exactly.
That's disgusting.
There's no way to lose with this. And again, back to the topic, the Nostalgia Critic and those guys had the right idea. When the claim happens, there needs to be a separate holding center for the money. I know we're quibbling about a couple of cents.
Or how about this?
For even people with 100,000 subscribers.
No, that's not the point. The money that the content creators make, especially the higher up ones, like the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
He's not a little guy anymore.
No. He probably makes a couple thousand off his videos.
But he loses that when there's a copyright strike.
Yeah, and it's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone for a month.
They just take it.
It's not even gone for a month. It's just gone. And the video itself is being monetized. All the views that he is getting during that time, if the video isn't just outright blocked, are going to the corporation for 30 days until the claim is gone, at which point they can reinstate the claim again for another 30 days, at which point you have another 30 days.
Where all the money is just losing.
30
You're
days.
just losing all that money.
To try and dispute this. This is a grand total of 3 freaking months. I don't know about you, but internet videos have a shelf life of maybe a month.
And what's to stop them?
And that's the best ones.
What's to stop them from targeting your most viewed videos and trying to monetize off of it?
And that's another thing. They definitely go after the most targeted ones. They go after the big ones.
And that's how you know. That's how you know what their intentions really are. They're not trying to protect themselves. They're trying to benefit themselves. And that's what I was talking about earlier.
But
Not
then,
a conspiracy.
Then it gets even more, a little more screwed up. Because, you see, I'm not certain exactly how the process of YouTube money makes, but I do know is that you don't get paid instantly. Which means all of the money that has been that could have been made has been stolen.
During that time.
Has just been flat out stolen.
You know what I think ought to happen? For some kind of repercussion? That you should pay the content creator if your claim is false or retracted. That you should give them their money back.
Again, he was saying in a way that doesn't piss off the corporations, because that's kind of how it is in the end of the day, is that the money should go into a separate spot.
A side bank.
Where neither has use to it. Basically, YouTube is holding on to it. They're not going to use it. It's just there until the claim either disperses or the claimee has stated, yes, I was in the wrong. Go ahead, take it.
And defendant.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and take it. That would make more sense. That would allow actual communication to occur.
But
in which the corporation doesn't just have to push a button and destroy someone's livelihood.
Instant money as well.
Yeah, just instant money.
Besides that, okay. Okay, besides that, there's... I don't remember what I was going to say now. There needs to be something to stop them from doing it. They need to have to pay the creator back again once they lost that money.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they've done is illegal. It's money laundering, essentially, and it's false.
It's so easy to do. Yeah, a particularly unscrupulous company, especially when they're being farmed out to third-party developers, which I've had a few of those people. Though I swear the entire company is a robot. But anyway, in which they can claim almost an entire channel's worth of videos.
You reminded me what I was going to say.
Okay.
Another reason why that wouldn't really work is because there's so much copyright striking and claiming that they're doing that they really can't run it through people. It would take too much time.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest way to do it, and they thought of this ahead of time, is to have it automatic. Run by a machine.
Like, I don't blame them on that aspect, but it's, again, completely benefiting the people who want to abuse it.
And all it does is take away from everybody else. Like, you
It is
don't realize it, but you're sabotaging your own system when you do this.
Yeah, I've been going around on YouTube and explaining just how easy it would be actually to even kill the site just using this system.
Yeah, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
No. And if a dumbass like me can figure that out.
You're not dumb.
But, something needs to change and soon, because it is all completely on the content creator to prove themselves correct. But that's not right.
Besides that, they have to wait to do it in most cases.
Long. 2 months is way too long.
And in some cases, they can't even contest it at all because they have another copyright claim.
Yeah, again, another screwed up part. If you get a strike, you are unable to contest any other claims for 6 months. That is a full half a year.
And what are you supposed to do until then if your only source of income is your YouTube videos, which isn't the case with us?
Get a real job! Go get a real job, you commie hippies!
That's the time we live in, though, when you can do this.
Mm-hmm. And it's nice.
And you can actually live off of it if you're successful enough. But the point is, you can't get that successful anymore. The people who managed to crawl their way to the top did so because of their talent or because they got benefited monetarily. But nobody else can do that anymore. Unless somehow they got famous and YouTube decided that they wanted to partner them.
Mm-hmm. But even then, it's not enough.
It might be for them. But that's the only way you can do it. Is if you just utterly become the next big thing.
That's not right. Voices should be heard no matter how small.
And you don't have to be the best of the best to make things. What kind of country would we live in if that was all that it was?
It'd be this country, actually.
Point taken.
Well, this was a pretty decent and rambly episode of discussing fair use, but again, something needs to be done. It's
I think we touched up on what we needed to say.
Yeah, it's too much burden of proof being put on the content creator.
Especially when the one who's actually perpetrating the literal crime here are the claimants.
Mm-hmm.
In most cases. In some cases, they're right. They did use their content, but how else are you supposed to review something?
I suppose they're telling you that you can't.
How do you talk about anything? Is the only way you're supposed to be able to talk about it if
it's positive.
No, if you're paid to talk about it.
Correct.
And then the only thing you could say about it is positivity because you were paid.
Again, they tried to actually do this.
That's silencing people.
And that is a dark, dark future for YouTube.
It's a dark, dark future in general. That is dystopian.
Yeah. YouTube is all about the content creator. It really has been.
Well, should be.
And
anyway.
it should continue to be.
But all we're asking is, where's our fair use? Where did it go? Why don't we still have it?
And why can't we implement a system that benefits both of us? Not just one.
Exactly. There is a system. There's a middle ground, but they're just... It's so greedy and backwards and one-sided that there's nothing you can do about it.
Because again, if you get a claim, well, a copyright strike, you can't dispute any claims for 60 days.
And there's
that person could go on a rampage and just claim every single video.
Or people are just discouraged from making these claims when it's in the system of laws that they implemented for this new content ID system.
And I think
that they should and could and would be allowed to.
And I think if you're gonna try and have like the next PewDiePie or the next Game Grumps, you've got to let the channels grow. You can't just crush them like this and expect people to want to actually use the site. Which brings up another point that, yes, there is always the concept that we could just go somewhere else, but honestly, can we?
Who else is going to see it?
There's always about Dailymotion, Blip TV. No, wait, sorry, that's dead. Blech. Zipcast and what have you.
There's one called Splash or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know about it.
But these sites are invisible.
I've heard of it.
They might as well be invisible. You're going to come across them.
Maybe by accident.
And go, oh, what did I just stumble upon?
This is not YouTube.
Mm-mm. And the sooner that we realize this, the better. Because if we have to go to a better website that respects the content creator and isn't trying to squeeze every last penny out of them, then YouTube is doomed.
If I could get a side note here,
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I
and
wish
the things,
that.
well, sorry, before I.
Okay.
And the things that we have, that me and Autumn have planned, are just not going to happen because there's no way that we're going to be able to actually get it out.
Gotta get there first. But I could just get a side note in here.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that the bigger a corporation got, the more it would try to benefit not only themselves, but their customers and their workers, the people that make them as big as they are. Because it's like they forget where they come from. You were once as small as us. Okay? And we could one day become the next YouTube. But we won't do this if we are. It's easy. I get it. But you gotta have willpower. You can't just take from people. That does nothing for your system. It's like an ecosystem. You have to constantly contribute back to what gave you your life. Or else it's not going to be able to be provided for anybody else, even you.
That it? Yeah, that was almost 30-minute long.
Was it really
rant.
half an hour?
Yeah, 30-minute long rant about fair use.
But it needs to be said.
Yeah.
It does.
So, yeah, for those of you who are listening, thanks for listening. I know this isn't exactly watching, though there will actually be some animations, which also is, again, another teaser of what's to come.
He's talking about stuff we're making, not stuff that you're making.
Right. And thanks for listening / watching, or even if it's just like a podcast. Again, thanks for listening.
And if you are listening, please spread the word.
Absolutely. Hashtag WTFU. Where is the free speech?
I like that. It's so poignant. WTFU.